Hey guys, Marshmallow here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over my Yu-Gi-Oh! Hero deck list, and this is for November 2021. This is actually pretty cool because since the last one I've actually started going to local tournaments, and I hadn't before, which means that this deck has been tested a lot, improved a lot, and actually does function in tournaments now, whereas the old versions probably didn't function so well. So today we're going to be starting off with the main deck, and this is my hero build. It's really cheap. This is probably the only reason you'd run this over anything else. It doesn't run the main vision heroes, it doesn't run evil heroes, it doesn't run Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. It's just a really cheap hero deck that still performs, can still OTK, and still has a fairly decent chance at getting a couple wins in your local tournament. So I'm going to start off with the Destiny Hero monsters, and the first one we've got is Destiny Hero Denier. Now if you don't know what Denier can do, he's actually really good. He came out in Burst of Destiny, and he is only a super rare, so he's pretty easy to get. But when he's normal or special summoned, you can take a Destiny Hero from deck, grave, or banish and put it on top of your deck. You can do that once every turn, and it has a secondary effect where if you have a Destiny Hero on your field or in grave that's not himself, you can special summon him. And what's really good about him special summoning himself with that effect is if you've not done it that turn, it can trigger his first effect. So you can summon him, do his effect, maybe use him for a link or whatever, and then next turn you can use his effect again, bring him back, and then do his first effect again that turn. And the best way to do that, seeing as it can bring a banished monster back to your deck, is with the 2 copies of Malicious that I'm running. And the reason being, Malicious can banish itself to special summon a Malicious from deck. Now, if you banish one and bring it out from the deck, then that's a free summon, and that free summon can be used for a fusion, a link, an Xyz, whatever. And then next turn, you will have a banished Malicious and a Malicious in your grave. So by using Denier to get a banished and put it on top of your deck, that allows the one in grave to banish itself to bring this Malicious out. And then from there, you can just keep recycling this free summon and get the free summon a lot. Finally, for the Destiny Hero package in the main deck, we are running a Destiny Hero Dynatag. Dynatag is a hand trap, not a very good one. You probably won't even use this effect much, but it can stop you from taking damage in one battle, and then you both take 1,000 burn damage. This effect has saved me a couple times, but honestly, that's not why you run it. Its secondary effect allows itself to be banished from the grave to buff a Destiny Hero by 1,000 attack points for the turn. And if you know heroes, then you know why I'm running this. Destiny Hero Dystopia, if it has different attack from its original, you can return its attack to its original as a quick effect to pop a card on the field. So you can banish this card from your grave to get a pop, which is really cool. So what I will do is I will keep the cards out, so if you do want to be like screenshot at the end, you can. So there we go. So then we're moving on to Elemental Heroes. First off, we are running 2 copies of Solid Soldier, a very cheap hero that doesn't see much play. When it's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero from your hand, so that can be Denier or pretty much any of the elemental heroes I'm using, and allows them to get their special summon or normal/special summon effects off. Also, if it's sent to the grave by a spell effect, you get to revive a hero in grave, which again can activate that monster's special summon effect that you're reviving, or can just be an extra body on the board to be used as a link material. And the reason this is quite good is because you can use Mask Change on Solid Soldier to send it to the grave, get a big beat stick on the board, and get a free revive of a hero in grave. Not only that, but the masked hero that Solid Soldier brings out can actually special summon another hero from the deck if it destroys something in battle. So that's really cool. Then next up, I know no one does this, but I am running 3 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Because we're running a very budget build, you want to be seeing this card as often as possible. And this card, when special summoned, can add a mask change from your deck to your hand, which can get you into things like Dark Claw, Diane with Solid Soldier, and Masked Hero Blast. But also, when Shadow Mist is sent to the grave, you can search a hero from deck to hand, which is really good, but you can only activate one of her effects per turn. And you probably won't be using the second one as much, but the fact that you're running 3 means that you can do it without damaging your chances of getting the special summon effect off. We are also running Elemental Hero Honest Neos. That is a hand trap that buffs a hero by 2,500 attack points. It can be used on Dystopia if you want the whole quick effect pop. It can be used for any type of OTK. It's really good at finishing your opponent off when they don't expect it. I often end up chaining like 2 or 3 copies of Mask Change and then having my final attack souped up with Honest Neos and just taking my opponent in one turn, and they often aren't very happy when that happens to them. Next up, we are running, this is the final Elemental Hero, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos in the main deck. Stratos on summon, normal or special summon, can destroy spells or traps on the field up to the number of heroes -1, or add a hero from deck to hand. What's really good about Stratos is it doesn't say once per turn. It's just when this card is normal special summon, you can activate one of these effects. Nowhere does it say once per turn. So you can actually activate any amount of either effect many times per turn, which is super useful. And what you could do is be searching heroes and then for your last one, go for a massive back row wipe, which is really good because heroes can struggle with back row. Then we are running the one and only Vision Hero I own, Vision Hero Vion. Ideally you would have more, but I only own one, so that's why I've got one. This can send a hero from deck to grave, which is typically malicious, so then you can banish and get another malicious, but it could be Shadow Mist to get the hero search, or it could be Dynatag to get the 1000 attack buff. A lot of the heroes don't mind being in grave. Also, you can just put any of them in. Oh, you could also put Denier in for the free special summon. But you can put any of them in there for some form of revival that you can do later on. Also, you can banish a hero in grave to add polymerization to your hand. Honestly, this deck doesn't use that effect much, but in a pinch it could be used, and there are a couple extra deck heroes that can be brought out with poly. We're then running 2 Neo Space Connectors. If you don't know what this does, it can special summon a Neospatian or Elemental Hero Neos from deck. I'm not actually running Neos, so it's Neospatians. And also you can tribute this card to target a Neospatian or Neos in grave and special summon it in defense. All you're really going to do with Neospace Connector is it's a good 1-card combo starter. You bring it out, you special summon Aqua Dolphin, use Aqua Dolphin's effect to get hand knowledge and potentially rip a card out of their hand. Do a little bit of burn, although you might hit yourself. And then you've got 2 warriors on board, so you can go into a bunch of link monsters, and also it's 2 bodies on the board for whatever else you may need. But yeah, also Connector is level 4 and Aqua Dolphin's level 3, so you can't go into an Xyz from just these 2, but they can help you get to 1. Aqua Dolphin is great. I love being able to rip cards out of my opponent's hands. The only thing I would say with Aqua Dolphin is if you're going against Lyrilusk, which I pretty much have 80% of my duels happen to be against Lyrilusk, a lot of their cards gain effects when they're sent to the grave. I think it's like the golden one. Apologies, I'm not very well versed in Lyrilusk. and also a lot of the Tri-Brigade stuff like being sent to the grave, which Lyrilusker also run with. Next, I run Neospatian Grand Mole. You're probably thinking, what the hell? This is more just a signature card. Honestly, this deck is over 40 cards, so you can very easily not run Grand Mole. I just really like him. He's non-target removal that comes back to your hand. It can get rid of Dragoon, which is awesome, but the main downside is that it's a rock attribute, which means not attribute type, sorry, which means that you can't really use it for a lot of the special summons and that. Next up, we're running 2 Junk Forward. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from hand. It's a level 3 warrior. Basically, you're just using it for the free summon of a warrior that you can then use to go into a link. If you use Junk Forward and then bring something out like Solid Soldier, you can get 3 monsters out, go into a bigger link monster. Also, it doesn't have much usage beyond that, so if you have to discard for an effect or something, Junk Forward you might want to do. Also, you can quite happily side 1 Junk Forward out. Next, I'm running Fire Flint Lady. I only have 1 Fire Flint Lady, but she's a great card. If you control a warrior, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can send this card from field to grave to special summon a level 4 or lower warrior from hand. Also, that monster can't be targeted by card effects. You probably won't be using the second effect much, because a lot of the warriors that you can bring out with that effect, sure, they can't be affected, but most of these will be turned into a link or a fusion or even an Xyz. So it doesn't really matter if they're unaffected by effect, because you're going to kill them yourself soon. The only reason that you'd really use this is, say if you've used your normal summon already and you want to get some spell and trap removal through Stratos, or if you want the special summon effect of Shadow Mist to add Mask Change to your hand. Otherwise, you probably won't use the second effect of Fire Flint Lady much, and will more just use it to get a body on the board. So that is pretty much all of my monster lineup besides hand traps. So I will move on. So for hand traps, we are running quite a few. We are running 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. The reason I'm running Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is because it destroys the card that activates its effect. It doesn't negate the effect. However, with heroes, you're running your boy Darklaw over here, who banishes any card that is sent to your opponent's grave. And even though your opponent might get their effect off, if you destroy them, they'll get banished. So say they have a Destroy Phoenix Enforcer who can keep coming back over and over. If you've got Darklaw on the field, they're obviously not going to send Destroy Phoenix Enforcer to pop a card. But you can stop that effect, chain this, so they still get their whole thing, but you kill them, banish them, so that's Destroy Phoenix Enforcer gone, and then your monster will die, or get negated, or whatever they're trying to do. We are then also running 3 Infinite Impermanence. Effect negation is key in this meta. It can really stop a lot of combo plays, and it can stop a very big menace being like basically indestructible. I know most hero decks are running 3 Forbidden Droplet and then 3 Forbidden Chalice alongside that, but I don't run Forbidden Droplet. So I'm running Infinite Impermanence instead of Forbidden Chalice, because on its own, Forbidden Chalice isn't quite as versatile as Impermanence is, because this can also stop spells and traps. And finally, to round off the hand traps, we are running 1 Ash Blossom. I know I only own 1 Ash Blossom, otherwise I'd probably have 2, and then maybe have it as a whole side deck playset. But 1, actually, you do see it more often than you think you would. And yeah, Ash Blossom's great. It can stop basically your opponent doing stuff from the deck, which things like Lyrilusk again and Sword Soul do a lot, so stopping that is great. For spells and traps, we are running well, I'm running a Zolde, so because of that, I'm running some equip spells. So we've got 2 DDR. This is discard a card, target a banished monster, and special summon it in face-up attack. 1 Dragonic attack. This can only be equipped to a warrior. Increase its attack by 500. Now, I don't have Overdone Burial, which is why I'm using this. You might be thinking, why that of all equip spells? At my locals, at least, a lot of people are actually trying to use there can only be 1, which means that you can only have 1 of each type. And because of that, you can put this on a Dark Claw, make it a dragon, and then bring out another warrior. So it kind of allows something like Dark Claw or another key monster to stay on board, because now it's not a warrior, and it counts as 1 dragon. We are running 1 Living Fossil. This can just target level 4 engrave, special summon it. Basically just allows it to be an extra body on the board. And of course we're running Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. Plus 300 attack to a warrior. And in the grave you can banish 2 warriors to bring it back to your hand. So I was originally running 3 DDR, but it did get kind of bricky. But the way you do it is you banish 2 warriors to add this card back to your hand. You activate this, discard the Divine Sword to bring back one of the cards you just banished to bring this to your hand. So basically you're getting to bring out a card from your grave for free by using these 2 cards in conjunction. But also because they're equipped spells, you will pretty much always have Phoenix Blade engraved no matter what. They can't really stop Phoenix Blade getting engraved. And it can be used with Azolde to actually bring out an extra monster. We are also running 3 E-Emergency Call. This just searches an elemental hero from deck to grave. On top of that, we're running 1 Rota, which is at a level 4 or lower warrior from deck to hand. By the way, I said deck to grave, I meant deck to hand. And the reason we're running both, because I know a lot of hero decks are actually dropping E at the moment, is because you can often, if you see both of these in your hand, or 2 copies of E, and basically you can just use E-Emergency Call, wait for them to Ash Blossom it, and then activate your second one. Or if you've got 1 of each, activate E, wait for them to Ash Blossom it, and then use Rota. And the reason this is so good is, hopefully, you bait out their only Ash Blossom in hand, and then you're pretty much free to go from Ash Blossoms for the rest of the turn. We're also running 1 Monster Reborn. This is great at bringing things like Destiny Hero Dystopia or Masked Hero Darklaw back. Wait, can Darklaw? I'm not sure. It's great at bringing extra bodies on the board regardless. Also, we do run 1 copy of A Hero Lives, which half your life points to special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero from deck. You're probably going to be targeting Shadow Mist with this. And one thing I would say is if you're going into Game 3 and there's not much time left, side this out. Because paying half your life points, you're just going to run into time and going to be on lower life points because of it. So that is a card that you can consider siding out quite easily. We are then, for fusion spells, running 1 Fusion Destiny. You can quite easily run 3. I only have 2. I'm trying to incorporate 2, but at the moment I'm kind of struggling with that. We're then running 3 Mask Change. This is like the best fusion spell in this budget deck. We're also running 1 Poly. This allows you access to a lot of plays, and because it's quick play, you can use it in your battle phase to change a monster into a masked monster, attack directly, use Mask Change to change it into another one, attack directly, change it into another one, and then Honest Neos it, and then just attack for big damage. This allows for a lot of OTK potential. Poly, mainly because Vion can search it out instantly, but it can bring out a couple unique targets in my extra deck. That is it for the main deck. So for the extra deck starters, we are running 1 Verte Anaconda. Basically, 2 monsters can then become Fusion Destiny, which can instantly bring out Destiny Hero Dystopia. So for 2,000 life points and 2 monsters, which obviously with things like Junk Forward, Solid Soldier, Vion Malicious, Denier, Fire Flint Lady, all these cards allow you to get multiple monsters with ease. 2,000 life points, and then you've got yourself a very good fusion monster on the board for a couple turns. We're obviously running Azolde. This allows you to search a warrior that you can't use for the turn. Typically, you're going to be searching Honest Neos with that, and then you send equips to the grave to special summon. Even if you pay cost and send equips to your grave and then they negate the summon, you did get your Divine Sword Phoenix Blade engrave, which is great because they can't stop that part of the effect, and because of it, you've got the play set up for the whole equip spell engine where you just cycle it and basically bring back any monster you want. We're then running 2 extra hero Cross Crusaders. This card is crazy. It can bring out Destiny heroes from grave, like Dystopia, Malicious, Denier, Dynatag. It can send a hero from field to grave to search out another hero, so that's more search potential. That's why hero decks can actually quite happily run over the 40 card and not struggle with consistency at all. And then finally for links, we are running Dread Decimator. This is great for OTKs, it gives piercing, it buffs. It's even good at late game because of how the buff works. It's 100 for each unique hero in grave, and it can easily be brought out. You use 2 heroes to go into Cross Crusader. It can even be just nothing else in grave. It could just be, say, Destiny Hero Malicious or Destiny Hero Denier, and Solid Soldier. Go into Cross Crusader, then revive the Denier, and then go into Dread Decimator as a link 3, so that's really cool. That is the link lineup. So yeah, Dread Decimator is really easy to bring out. Also because it buffs anything it points to, like down and then the 2 down diagonals, you could then use Dystopia's effect to return its attack to normal. Say you're only buffing it by 100 to get a free pop. Then we're running Masked Hero lineup, 2 Dark Claws. This is the best in all the deck pretty much. Everything your opponent sends to the grave is banished, and if they draw cards or search cards out, you can banish a random card in the hand. So it's got hand rip potential. You don't even need to use that part much. It's mainly the floodgate. This can shut down a lot of decks like Lyrilusk, Fluffle, what else? Phantom Knights. It's shut down a lot of decks that I've gone against, even Adamancipators. Then Masked Hero Anki. This is just a different dark attribute option. It's got 2800. It can attack directly. I've never actually used that effect in real life, so that's not why I'm using it. I'm just using it because it's a bigger body. It's different to Dark Claw. Say they've negated all Dark Claw for this turn. You can use Anki, and if it destroys a monster in battle, you can search Mask Change, which you can then use on the Anki to go into a Dark Claw. We're running Masked Hero Blast. This is what you can turn your Stratos into, potentially. It can target a monster and half its attack points. That effect you don't use often. Like, you may use it, but you don't need it often. The better effect is Quick Effect. You can pay 500 life points to bounce a back row, which again, this deck does struggle with back row. So that's actually really useful. Some dude had a card, he wasn't going to use it, so I bounced it just to get rid of it. Then I attacked directly with Honest Neos activated, putting it at 4700 attack, and he would have negated that, but I'd already bounced it, so he couldn't. So that's the sort of example of why this 500 life points to bounce a spell trap is great. Finally, we are running Diane. Diane is alright. It's quite a solid body, but you're mainly just using it to send Solid Soldier to the grave with a spell, which allows the free revival more than anything. But Diane is a 2800 attack, 3000 defense hero that when it destroys a monster by battle can special summon a level 4 or lower hero from deck. So it's actually pretty good like that. You can bring from deck a Stratos for a search or spell and trap destruction. You can bring out a Shadow Mist for a mask change search. You can bring out a Denier for a malicious recycle. You can bring out a Vion for a malicious mill. So they're all very solid. Then we are running Destiny Hero Dystopia. I mentioned him a lot. He can be brought out with Fusion Destiny. He's got 2800 attack. If you use something like Denier to bring it out, a level 4 or lower Destiny hero, you can actually do burn damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. And obviously, if its attack is different to original, you can return it to original to pop a card. And that is the main effect that's really useful. Also, it's Dark attribute. So if it's going to die because of Fusion Destiny's effect, you can quickly mask change it into Anki or Darklaw. Then we are running one elemental hero, the Shining. This is a light hero, a light monster and an elemental hero monster to bring it out. It gains 300 attack for each banished hero, and when it's killed, it can target 2 banished elemental heroes who are banished and add them to your hand. This is good if you're using the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade thing and you've gone a bit too crazy with it. You've got too many banished heroes. If Shining's on the field and he dies, you get to add like a Solid Soldier and Shadow Mist for an instant Darklaw, or a Solid Soldier and a Stratos for an instant spell trap removal, or just say a Honest Neos and a Stratos. Because, I mean, hey, 3 cards in your hand are always great. And finally, for fusions, we are running Vision Hero Trinity. This is great for OTKs. I don't actually play it too often, but on first turn it's brought out, it requires 3 heroes, has 5k attack, and often you can find yourself having Honest Neos in your hand as well, buffing it to 7,500. It can't attack directly, but it can attack 3 monsters per turn. So that's really good. Don't try running this, but I did actually at one point run Heated Heart, which gave it piercing, but instead what you do is run it with Dread Decimator, have it point to this, give it piercing, 5,000 damage on anything in defense mode because they're trying to like not die. Will probably kill them because again you have 3 attacks on monsters. And then finally for the extra deck, we are running one number 39 Utopia. It's a generic rank 4 that can negate attacks and things. I mean, this could be pretty much any rank 4. This could be Tornado Dragon, Daigusto, Emerald. But the main reason we're running Utopia is because it can negate attacks. It can also, it says when a monster declares an attack as well. So it can negate its own attack. So say you attack and they do something. I think you can negate your own attack to basically nullify that effect. I'm not certain though, because I've not actually brought it out enough. But we're running that because we're running Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Sky, Thunder. And basically what Zeus can do is take off 2 materials per turn as a quick effect to just nuke the board. I think it's everything besides itself. Yeah, send all other cards from the field to the grave. So this is spells, traps, monsters, everything on both sides of the field. And once per turn, if another card you control is destroyed by a battle or opponent card effect, you can attach a card from your hand, deck, or extra deck to this card as material. So that's pretty good. Say if you have a dead card in your extra deck that can't be used anymore, or whatever, or if you've got like a dead Malicious in your hand, you can attach it to that. Then detach it for its an effect, and then you've got Malicious engraved to do the whole Malicious. Then, moving on to the side deck, if you want me to do like a separate video explaining plays with this deck, because I've played this deck for a very long time, please let me know because I can go in depth on some plays. We're running Destiny Hero Plasma. This gets sided in a lot actually. This might actually get put into the main deck soon, I just didn't want to go too overboard on the card limit. But it's skill drain, stops enemies' monsters' effect activating, it's pretty good. Then we're running Dangerous if you need Fusion Destiny targets or Poly targets. Say you're getting Fusion summoned off a lot more than you thought. And also it can send things like Denier, Dynatag, and Malicious into your grave. For Elemental Heroes, we're running Stratos. If you want more spell and trap removal or more searchability, he can be added into your deck and be both. So he's really versatile, which makes him a great side deck option. We're also running 1 Wild Heart. You're probably thinking, why the hell are you running Wild Heart? But it's because, one, it's an Earth, so it can become Diane if you want to see Masked Hero Diane more often for some reason. But also, it can't be affected by traps, which means it can't be touched by things like Draining Shield, which like no one uses apart from my mate, Torrential Tribute, Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, or pretty much anything. It's just unaffected. Fiendish Chain. So that's awesome. And if you're going against decks like Altergeist, which I happen to go against quite a bit, and yeah, it's unaffected by that. Also stuff like, I think, is it Dogmatica Punishment it's unaffected by. So he's actually, if his attack was higher, he'd be better. But he is a bit of a tricky card for them to get around. It often means that if they're going to wipe your board, you're going to have something left at least. We're also running Miracle Fusion if you're needing to see that elemental hero shining more. Also, because it banishes materials, it actually buffs shining and allows shining to have a guaranteed set of cards to add back to your hand. We're then actually having Destiny Hero Celestial. It's a great level 4 if Deny's not cutting it, or if you need an extra Destiny Hero name in your deck. Say if you're running Dangerous, you need more Destiny Heroes, or if you've got 2 copies of Fusion Destiny, you need more Destiny Heroes. Celestial's a great one. Disc Commander is really good. The main way I played Disc Commander is Azolde sends 1 equip, which would be Phoenix Blade, special summon Disc Commander, then send it to the grave with something like Cross Crusader, or you could even use it as material to go into a Cross Crusader. Then later on in the duel, you can use Monster Reborn or Cross Crusader's special summon a Destiny Hero effect to bring this out and get a free draw too. And no one actually sees Disc Commander at all, which means that you can actually get this effect off more often than not. It is admittedly quite slow, but also Celestial's draw to effect is very slow as well. So if you can actually pull this off, they're probably not going to be aware of it and won't negate it prematurely. Then we're running Destiny Hero Decider. This can recycle heroes back into your deck. It can actually stop you from taking effect damage. Say you're going against Mystic Mind Burn or something weird like that. It can stop you dying from that. Or if you're going against Pure Red Eyes, they do a lot of burn actually. It can stop that. Or Six Samurai FTK. It can stop that. Which is quite nice if it's in your grave. It returns to the hand and stops the effect damage. You can only use that once per duel though. And yeah, the first one you can only use once per duel as well, but it is adding a hero from grave to hand on end phase. Also, it's a level 4, it's Destiny Hero, so like Celestial, it's a great target if you're adding more Fusion Destinies, more Fusion Destiny Heroes, and also it's got 1600 attack like Celestial, so if you're bringing out Dystopia, 1600 is a decent amount of burn. Then we are running Number S39 Utopia the Lightning. This used to be main decked in the extra deck, as you can just put it instantly on top of Utopia. Attack, not use the effect, because when it attacks your opponent can't use effects. Don't activate its effect to double its attack, because then you can bring out a Zeus with 4 material, which means it can get rid of 2, board wipe, and then get rid of 2, and board wipe again without you having to actually micromanage it. Then we are running Nightmare Unicorn, because it's a generic link. Link 3 can be brought out quite easily, and obviously goes well with Nightmare Phoenix. The combination allows you to draw more, bounce cards, and do spell and trap removal. If you're going to only run 1, which I don't know why you would, but if you can only fit in 1, you'd probably go for Phoenix as it's Link 2, and spell and trap removal, which again this deck does struggle with. We are then running going second cards like Raigeki. This actually works more often than you'd think it would in this meta. A lot of them kind of just negate monster effects, a lot of cards at the moment, so just destroying all your opponent's monsters might catch them off guard, might literally win you the game. And because, as I've said a lot, you struggle with spells and traps, we are running Cosmic Cyclone, pay 1,000, banish a spell or trap, and that is quick play. Harpy's Feather Duster, destroy all your opponent's spells and traps, and Royal Decree, negate all other traps on the field. Now, these two, Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, really good with Dark Claw because all them things being destroyed are also getting banished, so that's really cool. Something with Cosmic Cyclone is you are paying 1,000 life points, and for some reason, whenever I get this, I've already got Dark Claw in the field, so it's a bit of a waste of life points, but it doesn't matter. Again, if you are playing Cosmic Cyclone, it doesn't really matter as much, but do keep in mind that if you're going into Game 3 and it's getting close to time, watch out, don't burn yourself or pay too many life points that you end up going to time and losing. And yeah, that was my hero deck. I hope you enjoyed. I've taken this to quite a few tournaments and edited it a lot along the way. To be honest, it'll probably change next week and the week after. However, I'm thinking of maybe doing a showcase every month, and the focus will probably be, because I don't have much money, that it'll be cheap. So hopefully, if you don't have much money, or you just have a couple hero cards but you don't want to fully invest yourself in it, you can make a deck like this or similar. And yeah, I hope to improve the deck over time and catalog that by doing multiple videos. And also it can change. So like in Brothers of Legend, we're seeing evil hero reprints, which means I can incorporate evil heroes into my deck because now they're cheap and easy to acquire. Also, I really want the gold alternate art plasma. I know a lot of people hate gold. I personally love them. And yeah, that plasma looks sick. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you do try this deck list out or a very similar one, and let me know how successful it is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.